to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the American Sleeper Show. This is American Sleeper, your agent of freedom. We're here to talk today about what's going on in our nation, our country, what is going on with our freedoms, our liberties, and how they're being taken away from us one step at a time. It may seem like a slow process, but it is happening. And there's nothing that these people won't do to take away from you and me, the American people. They have no care for your liberties or your freedoms or what happens in your lives with your children. They're going to continue to try to dictate you and me no matter what. And we got to be the ones to stand against it, to stop it, to keep these people from dictating you and me and what goes on in our lives. And if we don't stand against it, if we don't stand strong, they'll slowly be taken away. So we got to continue to fight. We got to continue to stand against it, no matter what. Because this is our country. Our forefathers built this country for me and you. And for them to think they can take it away from us without any responsibility, it's not going to happen. Because people like you that follow American Sleeper are free thinkers, free Americans that are willing to look around and see what's going on, that are willing to take control and keep charge of our lives, no matter what. Because people like you, because we want to continue to be in control of our future and our destiny. We want our kids, our children, to have a future and not allow it to be taken away from us, not allow our children to be dictated to or against, because they have the right to be free. They have the right to live free no matter what. So we can't get lost and stuck in our ways, and we need to continue to fight and stay strong no matter what happens, no matter what goes on. Because otherwise, our children won't have a future. They won't have what our parents and grandparents had. Yeah, if you go back, some of them really did have a tough time going through the Depression and things like that. But also there's some time within that generation where they did well. And even in our lifetime, when we had a good president and a good solid leader, and not a dictator, we felt that as Americans. We understood that. And we need to keep it that way. Pop Secret joins the show. Good morning, working and lurking. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you joined us to see what's going on here on the American Sleeper Show. See what we're talking about. See how we're going to stay in control of our lives. Stay in control of our destiny. And not get lost. Continue to be free thinkers. Because that's what we do. As Americans and searchers for truth. And how we continue to fight to be leaders. And that's what we're going to continue to do. Always. We got to continue to fight no matter what. Because if we don't do it, who's going to do it for us? Who's going to stand in a fight for you and me? It's not going to be our government. It's not going to be the elites. It's not going to be our teachers, our bosses. It's not going to be any of these people. Because ultimately, it's you and me that are in control. It's you and me that need to stand against what's going on in this nation. Because we're free thinkers, we're fighters, we're leaders, we're winners. We're the ones that go down the rabbit hole digging for information, finding truth, standing against evil in the midst of a hurting nation and a hurting country. Let's see what's going on in the world today. Let's see what's happening. Looks like, let's see here. Let me switch this up a little bit. Da-da-da. Looking at the Open VAERS report this morning. Still no update. We're waiting for another update from Open VAERS. Looking at our big fat lie on the screen. 18,853 deaths. Come on. You really believe that? You think that's true? I don't. I think that's only a portion, small portion of what we're seeing and what's truth. Maybe a third. We'll see how that spikes when this new update comes out, probably on Friday, I'm guessing. 94,537 hospitalizations. 99,470 to urgent care due to COVID vaccines. Such a shame. Got 30,010 people that are permanently disabled due to a vaccine that's been forced down their throat with no choice whether to take this or not. Do it or you're fired. How's that fair to the American people? How is that right? Well, we don't want you to spread the virus throughout the business or throughout the hospital. Well, it's proven fact that the virus can be spread by those that have been vaccinated. The ones that have been vaccinated also get sick. Seems to me that the best course of action is coming down with COVID, surviving it, and having an immunity to it. It's a shame that the American people still don't have control, don't have a voice. OpenVAERS.com is a good site. They really break things down for you so you can get a good understanding of what's going on. They got some graphs here. The graph will change over time. We're only starting here from 2020 on. But I like the way this, shows you what's going on and how they break it down for you. I got some resources yesterday on the show from some of my viewers, because after talking to my viewers, my wife might have to step down from her career of 16 years working in a hospital because the hospital system she works for, they were fighting against the vaccine mandate, but now it seems like they caved. So some of my viewers gave me some resources for jobs that are jab-free jobs, where you can look at what they have. Hiring page. Let's see what all they got in here. Now you got to create an account. I didn't do that yet, but that's a resource, jabfreejobs.info. If you're looking for a job and you don't want to take the vaccine. Another one is Red Balloon, free to work. The job board for the pro-freedom community. That's another place to look and see what kind of jobs they got going on. So once I click on jobs, they got a list of jobs there. What's open and available. Marketing project manager, full-time, remote. Sales representatives. Transition specialist, ceramic tile installer. Truck drivers. IT support. Home health CNA. I wonder if they're fighting against the mandates. But there's 25 pages here. So there's a bunch of stuff in there. If find something around where you live, or heck, if you even plan on moving out of your libtard state, check that out. Another good resource on Gab. This one's called No Vax Mandate Jobs Board on Gab.com. So they post up information on here. You can post if you're looking for a job, and like this person here broke it down into different states for job openings. If somebody needs a religious exemption letter for their employer, find that here. It has a nice long detailed letter. How to tell your boss to go pound sand with their vaccine. So these are good resources if you might have to step down from your position because your company is mandating a vaccine, or you're just moving or just looking for something different. Gives you more resources. Try to find a way out of this craziness, this mess that we're in. Like I said, we got to continue to share information with one another and stay in the fight. Not let these dictators win. And the only way we're going to win is if we stand together. We stand strong against what is going on. Share intel and information with each other. Because that's what the American Sleeper Show is about. It is not about me. It's about all of us as a whole. It's about grabbing intel, sharing information with one another, helping each other find resources, for work and jobs and whatever it is we're looking for to make a way. And that's what we need to do. Each and every one of you that follow the show and hang with American Sleeper, all of you are agents of freedom with me. And we got to continue to stay in that fight and stay strong. Because like each and every one of you know, they're not going to do it for us. This is our fight. This is our battle. And we're going to stand up and we're going to win. We're not going to let them take our country away from us. Continue to take from our pockets with no regard for the Americans that elected them and asked them to be a voice for us, to be a fighter, to be a good leader. Because that's what we do as Americans. We try to lead, and we try to be good leaders. Honest, looking out for each other, staying in the fight, staying strong. You know, we got to raise our children to be free thinkers, to be smarter, to work hard, and not fall to the manipulative ways that the leaders of this country are trying to use against our children, using the past, using history's mistakes to make them think that we hate each other, to make them think that we shouldn't be a free nation and a free country. But we should be, because we are. That's what this country was founded on. That's what our forefathers built for me and you. And we need to continue to triumph in that fight. Not just for you and me, but for everyone that wants to fight, that wants to be in the battle. So today's news: Trump rips Biden's order to release strategic oil reserves, Newsmax says. And we need to. You know, this guy makes no sense at all. He closes down the Keystone pipeline after he said he wouldn't, taking away good jobs for Pennsylvanians. Now he's talking about closing Pipeline 5. You know, we're having trouble with gas prices and oil, but you're going to close down pipelines. How does that make anything better? That makes no sense. You know, Biden was talking about how the issue with gas prices is because of getting a hold of the oil and shipping crisis and blah, blah, blah. But shutting down pipelines is what is causing the pain. Losing American jobs is causing the pain. How in the hell does begging OPEC to make more oil, shipping it overseas, spending more fuel to get it here, how's that better for the environment if that's what your goal is? How's that going to make things cheaper? It's not. Drilling here in the United States of America, giving good Americans, good hard workers, the jobs to take care of the American people. That's what's needed. Fine. If you want a renewable resource, fine. But find a good one. Find one that works. I see you, Tony Denson, lurking. Appreciate you coming to the show, hanging out, listening to what we're talking about. I saw your show the other day. I heard the shout out. Appreciate you. Shout out to Tony Denson. Check him out. Have to get you on the show one of these times. Maybe to lead us in some education. Maybe teach us a little bit about history the right way. You know, how we should really teach our children and educate them right on history and how this country was founded. Latanya Keel says, can't defend with no oil. You're absolutely right. Takes oil to manufacture our weapons. It takes oil to run our weapons. It takes oil to get the soldiers to where they need to be to use these weapons to keep us in the fight. So the lack of our oil causes us to be weak as a country and a nation. You want to be strong. You want to be a strong country, a fighting country that can defend itself when called upon. You need to have good oil. Can't be dependent on another nation, just like we are with our goods, just like we are with our medication and our food. We've become so dependent on these other countries for things that we may desperately need when they tell us we can't have them. So why are our leaders not recognizing what is going on? And I'm sure they do. But it all boils down to dollars, money. It all boils down to stocks. I'm sure that they got their fingers in with the oil companies. Tony says we can't defend with a vax military. The point of Biden, Clinton, Obama, and others is destroy us with China. I've said it before. China's a sleeping giant. They're willing to go decades under the radar. They got time, and they're willing to use it against us. They've said it before. They'll take us down without a shot. And they're already doing so. I'm sure there's sleeper cells here. And better believe you, with a vaxxed military, I'm sure a lot of those guys and women that are still there, that are getting the jab, are not free thinkers like we are. They're just followers doing as they're told. Yeah, that's what you do in a military and an army, but you also got to be able to think for yourself and think about what you're doing. Is this right? Is this order just? If your leaders in the military tell you to kill your citizens, are you just going to do so just because you were told? That's the liberal mindset. So if we have a military full of liberals, bet you they're not going to question taking you and me out. They've already done it with our FBI, using them against us. I'm sure all of you seen the video of that girl that was touting if martial law was called, she was going to be the one behind the weapon, pointed at us. Good luck with that, honey. Because you're going to have a lot pointed right back at you. And even maybe some on your side. Or ones that have stepped down because they weren't willing to take the vax. Guess whose side they're going to be on? Bet it ain't going to be yours. Tanya Keel says, yes, we must stop the takeover. And I believe that's what we're doing here on the Foxhole as creators, as lurkers, collecting information as you go along. If you're here on the show, you're an agent of freedom. You're a fighter. You got your eyes open. You're listening. Even if you're not a creator, you're still paying attention. You're looking for a resource. You found the Foxhole. Somebody told me yesterday, you don't find the Foxhole finds you. And I believe that. I don't even know how I came across the Foxhole. And like they said, it found me, and here I am. Speaking truth to you guys, the people. Tony says the leaders are all paid off. Yeah, and we allow it to happen. funneling millions and millions of dollars to these people that are supposed to go there to speak for you and me, that come out on the other side millionaires, driving fancy cars. Most of us aren't driving Maseratis. Like I said before, it should be our military guys and our police and our firefighters. They're the ones that should be making the big money. I think we need to do more to idolize them rather than idolizing the super wealthy, idolizing the movie stars and singers. Why do they get to make millions of dollars and somebody that's risking their lives to fight for you and me makes a lousy paycheck? I know when I was in the Army, I figured out what I was making per hour. I don't remember the number now, but it was pretty stupid. Like $2 an hour or something, because you're working 24 hours a day. Some of these guys, I was reading an article, have trouble feeding their children because they don't make enough money, so they got to do other things just to bring in some money. Tony says he got some research. He'll DM me. Appreciate that. Send it my way. We'll talk about it. Anyone, if you got information, good intel, send it my way. I'll take a look at it. Talk about it on the show. Because that's what this is about. It's about sharing intel. We're in a war. We're in a battle. We're in a fight for freedom, for justice, for the American people, for all people. I think it makes us all angry that we have to stand up and fight, that we have to continue to scream from the rooftops just to be heard. Why do we have to do that? We elected these people. We put them in power because they said they were going to speak for you and me. They told us that they were going to put into place many of different things that we were asking for, and they didn't do anything. All they do is shove their hands in the pockets of every American citizen and in other countries around the world. Just taking from the citizens. People need to have a voice. They need to be able to stand up. They need to be able to fight against their government. It's what the Second Amendment's about. It's about being able to defend against your country if they ever turn on you. It's about being able to stand strong and stay in the fight. Just like Kyle Rittenhouse stood up against assault. He wasn't going down. Sad he had to take a life. I'm sure he wishes he didn't. But I'd bet he doesn't regret it. Because he's still alive. He's still here. I hope we all continue to fight and be heard. Looks like U.S. to release oil from reserves. It may set up a showdown with OPEC. The Biden administration's release of 50 million barrels of crude from the strategic reserve in coordination with China, Japan, India, South Korea, and the United Kingdom is not without risk, reported on Tuesday by Bloomberg. I believe it was Trump that said that. No. Trump ripped Biden's order. Trump said those reserves are meant to be used for serious emergencies like war and nothing else. There's a smart thinker for you. So Biden's going to work with China, Japan, India, South Korea, the United Kingdom. Probably what's going to happen is we're going to give half of our freaking reserves away to somebody else. On the cheap, too, I'm sure. Popcorn says, good morning. About to start work, but drop by to say hello. Appreciate you, Popcorn. Appreciate you coming and checking us out, even on your way into work. Giving a quick listen, maybe seeing if you can catch some intel before you head in. Have a good day, my friend. Work hard. Continue to stay in the fight. Tanya Keel says, that is a bad idea. We must not touch the backup. Yes, Trump is right. Yep, you're absolutely right. That stuff's there in case we need it, in case the Saudis say, guess what? No more oil for you. Enough is enough. Then what are we going to do? We're going to be up the creek without a paddle. We're going to quickly have to transition into drilling again. And without our reserves to keep us steady, everything's going to go to hell. And we need to be prepared. And that's why a lot of us conservative thinking minds like Donald Trump, because he was a smart thinker, thought ahead, pre-planning, knew what he needed to do to keep us in control, keep us safe. He stood for Americans. He was the voice. He was a voice for all people because he wanted to set light to America so that it could be seen from the horizon, to give light to other nations and other countries, to be thinking for themselves, to be taking care of themselves, taking care of their own people, not relying on the hardworking American people to funnel their money all over the world, billions of dollars. Biden says that's because this unprecedented, coordinated attempt by the world's largest oil consumers to control prices could result in backlash by OPEC, which has warned they are likely to respond to move by canceling plans to increase their oil production. Of course. Less production, jack up the prices, you're working less hard and making more money. Why not? Why not? Why not take advantage of the American people? We're just greedy bastards, I think, is what the rest of the world thinks about you and me. Even though we take care of so many other nations, feeding them, clothing them, providing help and goods for them, because that's what we do. Because we are Americans. Because we are willing to hold out our hand when somebody is down and pick those up when they're in need of help. That's what we do. We don't kill for joy. We kill to defend freedom and liberty and justice, to protect our families, our children, our parents. That's what we do. Generally, we're not hateful people. We want to lead the way. We want to raise the torch. We want others to follow in our steps. because we know what it's like to be free. We know what it's like to be successful. Not because we're greedy, but because of how it makes you feel to create something or work hard for a goal and achieve that goal. It makes you feel like a leader, a winner. It makes you feel worthwhile. But that's not what our leaders want for us. They want us to be down. They want us to feel less than human, because then they have control of you and me, and that's what they want. They feel like there's too many people in this world. We need to eliminate some of them. No, we need to adapt and be smart thinkers. Like our real president is a smart, logical thinker, a true, honest leader, speaking truth and wisdom from what he's learned from business, what he's learned from life in general. The rest of the world should continue to follow in his footsteps. And I believe some of them were starting to, until the Illuminati and the elites all realized this and had to shut it down. So then the rest of these other countries just fell back into lockstep with these sad dictators that continue to try to control the American people in other nations. Why are there children starving to death in other countries in today's day and age? With all the help that we spread around the world, trying to help take care of these children. Why are they starving? They're starving because somebody else has their fingers in the pot. And it's time we cut those fingers off. Say enough is enough. Pack your bags, get out. It's time to stand up against it. Maybe we need to get back into some of these jungles where children are starving to death, picking through garbage piles, because their country doesn't allow them to be a free nation, doesn't allow the people to have a choice on how to live their lives and how to be successful. Gives them no opportunity because they take, and take. We are all mad. Amen. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming to the show. Appreciate everybody that comes to the show and joins the American Sleeper Show. You're all agents of freedom in the battle, in the fight. We're going to win this fight. Win the war. We're all going to lead the way, one step at a time, even if it's one little win here and there. But we still got a long way to go. We need to strive to create a better generation, the next generation, my children's generation. I want them to have something they can be proud of, something they can look back at their fathers and mothers and grandparents and say, thank you for giving me a free country, a country that cares for the people, that takes care of us, that doesn't expect us to take a handout, expects us to be strong and hardworking and honest. That's what we need. Because if we continue to let our children be soft and confused, we're all mad says children don't go hungry in jungles, they go hungry in cities. Yeah, you're right. Because that's where the elites are sucking off the people. The people in the jungles, they know how to take care of business. Popcorn 17 gifted a cookie. Really appreciate you, man. Where we go one, we go all. I'll go down the rabbit hole with you. For God and country, we are free, and we will be free. Appreciate each and every one of you that come here and support this show. I'm getting to the point where we're going to be able to start doing some giveaways for you guys, for the people, for the agents of freedom that follow me. I want to give back to you guys. Because you support me, I want to support you. And whether that's giving you a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or information or just giving you a place to go to find some freedom, truth, wisdom, whatever it might be. I'm glad each and every one of you come here. But again, about the cities in these other countries. You got these dictators running these countries that don't give a crap about their children. There shouldn't be children on a garbage pile looking for banana peels. If the parents, if the leaders actually cared. I actually told my son that one day, kind of changed his way of thinking. Few years back, he was complaining about dinner, what we were having for dinner. I don't remember what it was. But I just told him, I said, son, there are children around the world that are sitting on a garbage pile. And I actually showed him a picture of it. A kid sitting on a garbage pile, eating out of the garbage pile, whatever they could find, whatever leftovers there were. He didn't complain about dinner again after that. Because he's thankful for what he gets. He's thankful that we're able to eat good, warm meals. He's thankful that his parents take care of him and teach him and guide him and push him to be successful. Children don't want to eat off of a garbage pile. They just don't. Those children do it because they have to. Because nobody else is willing to stand up for them. Even though us, the American people, spread our wealth all over the world and try, we try to take care of others. If it wasn't for everybody else putting their fingers in the pot. Some of Trump's legal fees are being paid by the RNC. Some of former President Donald Trump's legal bills are being paid by Republican National Committee. The Washington Post is reporting. In a Monday report, the newspaper said two payments totaling $121,670 were made in October by the RNC to the law firm Ronald Fischetti. Maybe it's because they dropped the ball too for President Trump. They didn't push harder. Just made me think of the legal filings that Lindell was pushing through. I believe that was today. Don't know what happened with that. I need to look more into that. Sorry, I don't have that with you to share. The Post noted there's been no indication that either probe involves Trump's time as president. The newspaper said the requests for payments were voted on by the party's executive committee in recent weeks. An unnamed source told the Post the RNC was willing to pay some of the bills after James' remarks indicating she was targeting Trump. Yeah, everybody was targeting Trump. He was just a warrior that could handle the weight, carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Quote, we will use every area of law to investigate President Trump and his business transactions and that of his family as well. James had told NBC News in 2018. Yeah, that's all right. Hunter Biden can sell his stupid artwork for millions of dollars. That makes sense. What's up, Steve B? Ben Q lurking. What's happening, Ben Q? Appreciate you. Good parenting lesson there. Yep. I try to teach them right. We are all mad, said too many parents coddle their young. I never lied. I was way too truthful with my young. They homeschool now. They keep their young close. Tanya Keel says Trump is the boss. They best pay his bills. Yeah, you're right. You better pay all his bills. Salty Nuts says Ink Salty Crew, baby. What's happening, Judy? The Lady Pug. I appreciate each and every one of you joining the show, hanging tight with American Sleeper, staying in the fight, staying strong, not losing your way, continuing to educate yourselves. For those of you that weren't here in the beginning of the show, I'll just do a quick share of some intel I got yesterday. Yesterday I was talking about my wife losing, having to step down from her job because of the jab, because she's a free thinker and she ain't taking the bull crap. But some of the people here on the American Sleepers show shared some intel with me, so I wanted to share it with everyone. So just so you could see if anybody is against the jab and didn't have, had to step down from their position because of the jab. There's some sites out there. This is www.jabfreejobs.info. This one here is called Red Balloon Free to Work. Red Balloon is the job board for the pro-freedom community. And then also on Gab, the No Vax Mandate Jobs Board. They share some good information, some intel. Here's an employer letter to tell your boss to F off. You ain't taking that bull crap because you're a free-thinking citizen and they can kiss your butt. So just check those out. If you need be, No Vax Mandate Jobs Board, Red Balloon, and Job Free Jobs at jobfreejobs.info. So just wanted to share that again quick with you guys if you haven't had the chance to see that. Where are we at in the chat? Judy the Pug said, did you all see the clip of Hunter at the White House greeting the Christmas tree with a baby girl in his arms? Do these people not even stop? To consider the optics? No, they don't care. They don't care how it looks. They're freaks of nature. And the people continue to allow them to live and be this way off of our dime, our dollar, our backs. And that's why we need to stand up and fight against it, because enough is enough. We're pissed off. We're pissed off, Americans. We're pissed off because the dollars that are being pulled out of our pockets, that's what's pissing us off. Stop taking from you and me, the people. So you can have your Maseratis and Lamborghinis and whatever else it is you have. You're there to speak for the people, not suck off the hardworking Americans. Ben Larkin, much better lose your job than lose your soul. You're exactly right. And that's what my wife said. She was walking down the street and God spoke to her and spread bread all over the sidewalk in front of her. Showed her that I'll be there to take care of you no matter what. What an awesome thing. When you least expect it, he puts it right in front of you. Breadcrumbs everywhere. He will make sure we're fed. He will take care of us. He will speak to us when needed. And like I told her, it may feel horrible right now. You may feel like, what do I do? I've done this for so long. I said, you're going to be in a much better place. You're going to be so much happier. You're going to look back and you're going to go, why didn't I do this 16 years ago? What have I been doing all this time? So, God makes sure good things will come of it. Tanya Keel says, the monsters live by the kiss the baby motto. Oh, look at that monster with a baby in his hands. Poor baby. Yep. Look at me. Look at me. Here I am. I'm such a sweetheart. Even though I'm a crack-smoking idiot that sells my kindergarten artwork for millions of dollars so you can funnel money into your family. We're not stupid. We know what's going on. If the Trump family would have done some stuff like that, you really think they'd have got away with it? I don't think so. There's no way. Because the powers that be are going to make sure it doesn't happen. Because they knew that the American people were starting to see that, wow, there is somebody that's willing to speak for you and me. There is a good leader out there, somebody strong. Somebody willing to be a voice and tell the rest of the world, you know what, enough is enough. Get off the backs of my people. Worry about yourself. We're going to worry about us. We got it taken care of. Well, man, what a mistake. Make the world crumble, shiver in its knees, because, oh my gosh, what are we going to do if the American people aren't propping us up? These other countries that just give crumbs to their people and take the rest of the loaf. We had enough. Hard Knocks PhD. Jobs not jabs dot carrier. Let's give that a look. Jobs not jabs dot carrier. Let's give it a quick look. Jobs not jabs. I believe this is the one he was talking about. Some more good intel there for you. Jobs, not jabs, careers. Has an employer section, job seekers section. Says pricing up here. I guess they're going to make you pay for it. Free 30-day job posting. I guess that's take a shot featured candidate. Just job postings. Unlimited. Resume database. So I'm assuming the pricing is for the employer. Hopefully not the job seeker. Job seeker. Free. Resume create, can upload resume. So free candidate profile is free. A featured resume is $1.90. Take a shot featured candidates $19. So they do give you the option for a free profile. I mean, I guess at least they do like feature your resume and stuff for your money. It's kind of not cool to me that they're charging people to, find a job when they're having a hard time, but it looks like that could be a helpful thing, I guess. If you got a little bit, you can spend a little money and help out the job board, because putting these job boards up aren't free. It does cost money, so I guess it makes sense. It's kind of like this show here. The show, takes a lot of time to put this stuff together. Doing a little research and trying to fit it into your schedule every day. So I can understand that. I appreciate everybody that throws pills my way to keep it going. That's why I want to give back to you guys, because I know you guys are looking out. Hard Knocks at PhD said job, not jabs.career. Sorry, I typed, but no problem. That's what came up. I did type in what you said, but it still brought up that site, so it did work. But yeah, again, great intel. Thank you, Hard Knock. I appreciate it. For those that may step down because they're not willing to take the bullcrap jab, willing to kill themselves. We talked about that the other day, about how people are walking around different. Those that got the vaccine, they just seem different. Moody, depressed, sick, lost, regretful. Yeah. If not the poison that's in it, I don't want to walk around like that either. It's like my son, when he went into school, when they were masking up all the students. We actually live in a district that's done well against the mask mandates and stuff, and they actually took it to the courts and fought it. They were one of the only school districts in the state willing to stand up and fight against it. So I am thankful for that. But when they first started it, my son went to school and they said, you need to put your mask on. He said, no, thank you, sir. I'm protected by the blood of Jesus. What a proud moment that was. Let me tell you. I didn't tell him to say that. That was his decision. But he's smart, free-thinking individual, thinks for himself. He doesn't dig like I do, go down the rabbit hole and stuff, but he's aware of what's going on. He's aware that something ain't right with this whole deal. He's not stupid. And I'm thankful for that. That I got smart children that are willing to lead and stay strong in the midst of it all. Knows my son, he knows what he is. He's not thinking about cutting his penis off and making a vagina. I'm thankful. I think a lot of that kind of craziness stems from parents not teaching their kids right. I mean, how can you be confused at whether you should have what you were given when you were born? Total craziness, total nonsense. Just don't understand it. I never will. I never will. Oh, let's get back to what's going on in the world. What's going on? Representative Fitzgerald, the Newsmax. Parade deaths point to need for bail reform. Yeah, you think so?
Big announcement.
This guy gets out on bail after running down women and children at a parade. But we were supposed to throw Rittenhouse away because he was defending himself. This guy's cruising away from his wife because he's mad in an argument. At least I believe it's his wife. It was a domestic dispute. And runs down families. Details emerging about the suspect accused of running over people in the Waukesha, Wisconsin Christmas parade on Sunday point to absolute need for bail reform, Scott Fitzgerald says. When you see the kind of rap sheet and turnstile approach to justice where these guys are in and out, in and out, in and out, it just goes back to the system that's broken. The Wisconsin Republican said on Newsmax, Wake Up America. Even though I'd love to deal with this at a federal level, it's still a state-by-state issue because there's such a diverse set of statutes. When you look at Wisconsin versus Illinois or Minnesota, it reflects the kind of values there. Darrell Brooks Jr., 39, of Milwaukee, is accused of driving an SUV into a Christmas parade in the suburban Milwaukee community, killing at least 5 people and injuring 48 others. He has 2 open criminal cases in Milwaukee County. One case filed November 5th, he's charged with resisting or obstructing an officer, reckless endangering, disorderly conduct, bail jumping, and battery of a woman. Told police that he allegedly ran over her with his vehicle after a fight. So there you go. These aren't the first people that he ran over. And he's a piece of crap that hits women because he's a coward. He's weak, spineless. He already jumped bail once that we know of. So now we're going to let him out on bail again after he already jumped bail. We're going to let him out on bail after he ran over families. But we were supposed to stand down and let Kyle Rittenhouse go to prison for defending himself. Kind of sounds to me like we're continuing to stand up for criminals and thieves. Haven't we had enough yet? Cherokee George, appreciate you. Gifted Shades says $1,000 bail just in October with a rap sheet a mile long, including pedophilia. You're right, George. Enough is enough. I appreciate the shades, my friend. I appreciate you looking out for the show and taking care of us here on the show and being part of the program. I'm glad you come here to see what's going on, to learn, to share information, to share intel, because everybody that joins the show is an agent of freedom. The show's not about me. It's not about American Sleeper. It's about all of us. It's about the Sleeper Army and each of us being agents of freedom. I'm just going to lead the way and listen to my soldiers. Slaybell72 says the dude is a complete POS and the DA is a Soros-funded criminal. I'm tired of seeing Soros' face involved in all this bullcrap. Is this dude ever going to die? He looks like he's 1,000 years old. Every time some crazy crap like this comes up, you see his face somewhere. It's a joke. Allowing the Illuminati and evil to run our lives and our country? No, enough is enough. Cherokee George says many cities, circuit, and state courts are still corrupt. They will be cleaned out. I believe that. These next elections are going to be mind-boggling to these people. We spoke up this election and we're going to speak up again. And it's time we get rid of these people and we put in good people to stand up for freedom and the right to defend yourself and the right to be free Americans and not have to worry if you're going to be run down at a parade from some jackass that beats his wife and molests children. We need to stand up for children that don't have a voice, because there's lousy parents out there that beat and molest their children and allow others to molest their children. What is wrong with parents? Your children should be under your arm always. You should be guiding them, being a leader, being the light for your children to learn from. I'm tired of these parents that don't care about the children they have. Why do you have children? Again, everything boils down to the money that the Soros government is willing to give to the people to keep them down. Putsy Woo says he'll be turned into a hero to add the list of other scumbags that have been canized for the calls. Ain't a hero in my book, and we need to make sure that justice is served in this case. We need to stand and speak loudly. Yeah, we're Americans that aren't going to go in and burn down somebody's city, but we sure will make sure we're heard so that the truth gets out about what is going on. Slaybell says, yes, it's crazy he still walks free. I agree with you 100%. That's ridiculous. Skips bail, but let him out on bail. I wonder what he owes Soros, because you know how that works. Throw a little money your way and some power your way and get you out of jail. But guess what, my friend? You sold your soul to the devil. Granted, you worked for the devil previous to that anyway, so he's a soldier of Satan anyhow, molesting children. Tanya Keel says, I already said my piece on Brooks, who he's involved with. Hard Knock PhD. Putin told his army and Soros that if he comes back into Russia, his military has shoot on sight orders. Huh. That's interesting. I didn't hear that. I'll have to dig into that a little bit. Maybe Putin's tired of the elites dictating how he runs his country, dictating what he should do. You know, I don't agree with everything Putin does, but he does have the right to run his country as he sees fit because his people elected him to do so, I think. It's hard to say anymore with the people that just reign in their country for years and years. I don't remember how it works over there in Russia. Salty Nuts gifted a cookie. Eat this now. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the cookie. I appreciate you. I appreciate the Salty Nuts crew, but I don't appreciate Salty Nuts. But I appreciate you, my friend. No, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you come to the show and watch what it is I'm doing. Feed some information into the show. Collect information as you move along. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for supporting me and believing in me for what it is I'm doing here. Standing with the American Sleeper family and crew. Being an agent for freedom. A speaker of truth. A speaker of wisdom. And helping creators on this platform like you've helped me, helping us in the fight, helping us spread the truth, spread the word, and being a leader. I appreciate all you, my soldiers. What else is going on? What else can we talk about? Let's see. Rittenhouse trial had very one-sided coverage. Yeah. One side was with him and one side was against him. I think it was a two-sided approach, to be honest. Long before a jury of his peers acquitted Kyle Rittenhouse on all charges, the 18-year-old was essentially convicted by the media as a white supremacist murderer as part of coverage that experts termed breathless and biased. Yeah, we all realize that the left-wing liberal media is just against him, is what it's about. It isn't necessarily one-sided. It is just you're either on one side or the other. You're either about freedom or you're not. You're either for it or you're against it. You either stand for it or you don't. And Kyle Rittenhouse did what he had to do to survive, and we the people were willing to stand with him and make sure that his right to protect himself was secure in the court of law. And the libtards, they were against him, painted him to be some KKK white supremacist school shooting piece of crap. Like he was an active shooter in an active shooter situation. Come on. Really? We know better. Cherokee George says, when everyone's primary elections in 2022, state them online and tell all your neighbors. I'm in Nebraska and our primaries are in May. MA. Nebraska. When I posted that twice. Salty Nuts said, you're doing great. I appreciate it, man. I really do. Cherokee says, sorry, my system stalled. That's why there are two comments. I got you. No problem. On the real, how many of us abnormals are sleepers? I sometimes fear I may be a sleeper sometimes. It drives me crazy. We're awake. That's the flip on that. We're awake. I consider myself a sleeper cell. I consider myself a proud American. I've carried American Sleeper with me for many years. I consider myself a sleeper cell because a sleeper cell stays in the midst, collecting information, being unseen, unnoticed, unheard, unrealized. You're just there as part of the faction, a part of reality. Sharing intel and information. But when you're called, when your orders are given to stand up and scream loud and take over, that's what a sleeper cell does. When a sleeper cell is ordered to attack, that's when they attack. Otherwise, they're just there watching and learning, listening. My drill sergeant told me when I graduated boot camp, he came up to me and he said, you know what's sad? I said, what, drill sergeant? He said, I don't even know your name. I said, well, that's good, drill sergeant. That's how I wanted it, drill sergeant. I wanted to be under the radar, right in the middle somewhere. I didn't want to stand out, but I didn't want to be behind either. I wanted to do what I was supposed to do and be good at it, but not stick out like a sore thumb. That's kind of how I live my life. Sleigh Bell says even after the trial was over, the president of the ACLU was on TV calling him a racist and spewing total lies. Well, we, the people, know. We know who Kyle is. We know what he was standing for. Tanya Keel says, boom, a sleeper cell. A human with a switch they have control of. Yep. Turn it on, turn it off. Salty nuts. Maybe green text graphics that say, passing out wake-up pills daily on your screen. Passing out the wake-up pills. Trying to wake up the people. That's what we're doing. We're getting people involved and listening and active so they can hear and see what's going on, so that we all can continue to walk as free people and free Americans and continue to live in a free country, free from dictators, free from politicians that suck off of you and me all the time. This is our money. We work hard. And we're not going to allow you to continue to take from us. Enough is enough. Get out of my wallet. I feel the pain already. Took less than a year for this jack off to run this country to feel the pain. Every time I pump gas and buy groceries and pay my bills. Things are more expensive, and I don't care what anybody says about it that doesn't agree with me. It costs more money, and I'm sick and tired of it. We already know that it doesn't have to be this way if we have a good leader that's willing to speak for you and me. So why can't we have it that way? Why? Because we want to give to everybody else that's not willing to put in the sweat? I don't think so. That's not how it works. It's not how it should be. Get out of my wallet. It says Trump zeroes in on his 2024 map. Former President Donald Trump is targeting 5 states: Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, which are key to his hopes of recapturing the White House in 2024. Well, I went to one of his rallies when he was in Pennsylvania in Harrisburg, there at Hershey. It was awesome. Stood out in the freezing cold and the rain for hours waiting to go in. I was like one of the last people to get in the door before they closed the doors. There was like 5,000 people standing outside in the rain and cold watching him on TV. Had an awesome time. Got pictures of that. I need to share that with you at some point. I had fun with that. So if you get a chance, if you're in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, or Wisconsin, and he has a rally, go. It's a good time. Especially after this run, you may not get a chance to do it again. It's worth it. The 5 states which delivered 73 electoral votes flipped for Joe Biden in 2020. Really? Did they? Really? Nah, I don't think so. Now Trump and his team are concentrating on winning them back. Well, you already won them, Donald. You already won them, my friend. But I get what you're saying. I get it. Salty Nuts said, hard to do 99.99% on Foxhole already awake. You're right. Most of us are. Paying attention and listening. But we can still share wisdom. We can still share truth and dignity and helpfulness and still provide things for each other here on Foxhole. Everybody may be awake, but they're still seeking more information. They're still seeking truth. They're still looking for wisdom. somebody to talk to them, and am I doing the right thing? Does this make sense? Does that make sense? Tanya Keel says, I'm in Nevada, right next door to Arizona. Like I said, you get a chance, go to his rallies. It's a lot of fun. I have a buddy of mine I was in boot camp with. He moved from Nevada to Tennessee because he was sick and tired of being out in the liberal part of the world. So he moved out east. Said he loves it. He has a farm where he raises his own food, animals, fruits and vegetables. Salty Nut says, give him tools to wake up others. Exactly. That's why we show you the information we're looking at on the screen with different places to go for jobs or information on the vax. And we try to share it with you so you can show others that are questioning, that are digging for information because they just can't make much sense of what is going on. And that's what we're trying to do here on the Foxhole, is keep the people awake, keep them fighting, and keep them strong. And not giving up, not falling or succumbing to these crazy people that are running this country, that are like the Soroses and the super elites. I'm releasing a scratch off for each and every one of you. Hopefully you get one. I guess I can't say for everyone because not everybody gets one. But I'm throwing it out there. I don't want to forget. When I started these shows, I was always forgetting about the scratch offs and not dumping them for you guys. But people were still listening to the show, which was amazing. Because it's not about the pills or money that we're all here. It's about speaking truth. It's about continuing to be free. Free nation and a free country. PJ Swearink won a gold pill. Awesome deal, my friend. I'm glad you came. Pumpy Custer got a pill. Ben Lurkin got a pill. I think the last time you were on my show, Ben, you didn't get one. Dale Bracier won a pill. Such an awesome thing that the Foxhole does for you guys, allowing us to drop pills so you can continue to support others on the Foxhole. Continue to stay in the fight and stay strong. Keep fighting, not giving up. Because this is a free country. It is a free nation. We are free thinkers and fighters. We are leaders and winners. And we're not going to give up. Fisherman won a pill. I'd like to see somebody win like 1,000 pills. That'd be awesome if Foxhole did like a crazy pig drop. Like, boom. There you go. That's what's up. Boom. Salty Nuts just won 1,000 pills. Yeah. No. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Ben Lurkin, I get balooshed often. Well, not today, Lurkin. Not today. You got your pill today. I'm glad. Cherokee George won a pill. Yeah. Spreading love today. Spreading some love. Glad to see people winning. I'm glad to see people come to the Foxhole to hang out with American Sleeper. I'm glad you're in the fight. I'm glad you're standing strong. I'm glad you're not giving up. I'm glad you want to be a leader. Dale Bryce, you're gifted a can. I mostly lurk while I work. Thank you, Dale. I appreciate the can, man. We'll kick it down the road. Salty Nuts won a gold pill. There you go, Salty Nuts. It wasn't 1,000 of them, but you still got one. Dale says, I mostly lurk while I work. what do you do, Dale? If you don't mind, share it with us. Let us know. I'm kind of interested in what the lurkers that lurk while they work, I'm interested in as to what they do while they're work, what they do for a job that they're able to listen and work. I used to deliver oxygen in one of my previous careers. So I was a truck driver, essentially. And I would listen to talk radio and podcasts and stuff all the time, just from random people. And, I was awesome. I was able to do that. I still do that now. Bercier says he's a mailman. All right, making sure we got bills to pay. You can hang on to the bills. Only bring me money. That's what we like. But that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're still able to go to work. I'm glad they're not forcing you to take the jab, because they know probably 75% of you'll quit and nobody will get their mail and they won't get their money. That's pretty much what that boils down to. You can't hand out tax bills unless you got a mailman, so we better not force him to take the vax. And maybe I'm wrong. Is there any talk about the vax for the mail, for the postal service? I don't think so. I thought they said they weren't, but who knows? Things change every day. It's hard to say. But keep up the good fight. Stay strong. Keep winning. Keep being a leader. Keep delivering the mail, man. The mail, man. It's such a great thing that each and every one of you come here to the American Sleeper Show and hang out with me just to talk about what's going on and just fighting for freedom, fighting for truth, seeking it, sharing it, being a part of it. Probably is hard for Dale to type and walk. Fisherman says, retired coal miner. Ah, man, are you in the Northeast? That means you're in my neighborhood, Fisherman. We got lots of coal miners out here. Dave in Britain won a gold pill. Good deal, my friend. People still winning. But yeah, we got a lot of coal miners out this way. That's a big deal out here. Now, there's talk about building like $1 billion or $3 billion, I can't remember, natural gas refinery up in the mountains, which sounds crazy to me because they're going to use it to make fuel, but they don't want us to dig and drill and all this crap. But it all boils down to money. If they can put up a $3 billion plant, then the governor and the state's going to get kickbacks from the taxes and blah, blah. But it all just runs downhill. I don't even know why I question some of the shit I question anymore. It's because it is what it is. Boils down to dollars, just like Soros and all these sick individuals that think they lead the world. Little do they know it's us, we the people, that lead. And we're going to continue to lead. Because we're free thinkers and free fighters. And we're going to stand against it. Fisherman says South Carolina. Move to South Carolina. My wife's family is from North Carolina. So we were debating on moving down to North Carolina. So it'd be right next door to you. But, yeah, getting out of this state. This state is a joke. Highest gas taxes in the country. Taxes through the roof. Roads that suck. Yeah. It's not a real great place to live, but this is where we were born and raised, and that's why we're still here, and our children were born here, and we're trying to raise them right and not bounce them all over the place if we don't have to, but if it boils down to it, we got a place to go. But again, this is American Sleeper. This is the American Sleeper Show. I'm your agent of freedom, and you are agents, soldiers in this battle with me. I started the show with taps, or not taps, with the wake up that the Army uses. And that's why I started it with that, is because it's about waking up the people. It's about waking up others that are lost or just not sure, because that's what we do. That's what people in the foxhole do. That's what people that follow American Sleeper do. We fight and try to wake up other people because we want to be leaders. We don't want to be dictators. We want to try to show people right, guide people the right way. So that's what Fisherman says was from Pennsylvania. Yep, that's where I'm at. Good old Pennsylvania. Crappy roads and high taxes and gas. But yeah, that's what we do at the Foxhole. We share information and we wake up others. So that's why I started the show with what the Army uses to wake up their soldiers and leaders. So that's kind of how I want to end the show. With the flag, the wake up, the national anthem, and the Pledge of Allegiance. I thank each and every one of you for joining the show. I thank you for coming here and being a part of American Sleeper, being in the fight with me, being in the battle with me and standing strong with me and not losing your way, and continuing to fight to make this a free country, a free nation that our children can live in, that we can live in. Continue to stay in the fight. Continue to walk as free people, not just for America, but for everyone around the world. Continue to stay in the fight. Soldiers, leaders, my agents of freedom, stay in it with me. This is the American Sleeper Show. I am American Sleeper, your agent of freedom. Till next time.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.